Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my breastfeeding experience. So let me start off by saying that I have been breastfeeding my baby for 8 months now, and although breastfeeding is easy now, it definitely wasn't easy at the beginning. So when I very first had Adriana, she latched on instantly, and it was easy. Like, I didn't really have to do anything. I didn't have to try, and I thought, oh great, like, this is coming so natural and easy for me. But literally every feed from that point forward was definitely not easy. And I had to call in every lactation consultant, that was at the freaking hospital to get them to help me out because I couldn't get my baby to latch properly. And every time that I would try, she'd freak out and cry, and it was just so confusing and overwhelming. And as a first time mother, I was just like so disheartened because, I wanted to feed my baby, but I just didn't know how. I didn't know how to get her to take to it. And I thought, oh my God, I'm just doing it all wrong. I thought I was just so just in the dark about how to do this. And every lactation consultant that came in got her to latch eventually, but they didn't really help me out much. They just kind of like positioned her away, put her on, and left the room. And so I still, every single time that I went to breastfeed her from that point forward, I still was struggling. I never had I never had somebody tell me, Kayla, like, do this, do this, do this, and your baby will latch. It was just kind of like, throwing her on my boob, and out the door they went because she was latched on, and they thought, okay, there's nothing more for me to do. But inside, I was just like, I seriously wanted to cry because, I wanted to feed my baby. Like, I wanted to be the one that just like did it. And I wanted it to be so natural. Like, I always heard that breastfeeding was. Like, it was just the most natural experience, so bonding between the mother and the baby. And, I'm not going to lie, guys, like, at first, it wasn't bonding. Not for me, at least, because, it was such a struggle. And it was just, it was just really it was just really disheartening, like, I was just really sad because I wanted it to be something that it wasn't. And then, we got home from the hospital, and of course, the same thing was going on. And every night, I would literally be almost in tears because my baby would be screaming her head off because she'd be hungry. And I would, I would try to feed her, and she wouldn't take to it. And the issue for me definitely was not my milk supply. I had, if anything, too much milk. Like, that wasn't it. It was just my baby simply couldn't latch on properly, even though, like, I would put my nipple in her mouth and everything, like, it was there for her to take, but it just wasn't working out. And she did not have a tongue tie, so that wasn't the issue either. So a couple weeks goes by, and I'm literally, there'd be times where almost every feed, it would take me like an hour to try to get her to take to it before she would finally latch. And it was a struggle, it was a fight, like, and I was starting to feel bad for myself. I was feeling terrible for her, and I knew something had to change. I needed to start supplementing or just totally quit breastfeeding. I didn't know. I just didn't know what the best answer was. And so after talking with my husband, we decided, okay, like, let's go see a lactation consultant. Not one at the hospital, but just a different one. And so I'm so glad I did. And literally, I'm so glad I did. She really changed everything for me. So we went in there, and, I showed her what was going on. Like, I tried to get my baby to latch, and of course, Adriana was pushing me away, was screaming and fighting like she always does. And after like 5 minutes of asking me questions and stuff, she determined what was going on. So apparently, your nipples can be a little short for breastfeeding, and I didn't know that. but apparently my nipples were a little bit short for breastfeeding. And so she left the room and she came back with a nipple shield. And literally, guys, once she put this nipple shield on me, Adriana latched on like that. And from that day forward, breastfeeding has been a dream. Like a dream. You know, not to mention, I was experiencing massive amounts of pain. My nipples were so sore. So sore when I first started breastfeeding. Literally up until I went to the lactation consultant. They were so sore. And, but I just weathered it out because, I wanted to breastfeed my child. Like, that's something I always wanted to do. And so I just thought, well, having extremely sore nipples is just part of it. But I quickly learned once that nipple shield was on that breastfeeding didn't have to be painful. And it literally, guys, she latched on like that because the nipple shield, basically it's like a little silicone shield that goes right over your own nipple. And then she just feeds off of that. But my milk is still coming out, right? Like she's still feeding off of me. She's just, her mouth's actually on a nipple shield cover. And the best part is that she told me just use this nipple shield for a couple weeks and then you can take it off and 9 times out of 10 your baby will latch onto your own boob and you no longer have to use the shield. And that's exactly what happened to me. So guys, I haven't even been using the nipple shield for about 5 months now, and she breastfeeds so easily. Like I remember one of my best friends telling me, like, Kayla, I promise you that your baby is going to get to the point where she could breastfeed upside down, sideways, with her eyes closed, like whatever. Your baby will breastfeed in any position. And guys, it's so true. There's zero issues between, for Adriana to like breastfeed off of me. Like it is like the most natural, easy experience. And I'm finally, I was finally able to bond with my baby through breastfeeding, something that I literally was like expecting to happen from the start. And so literally, guys, if you are on the verge or think you have to quit breastfeeding because it's A, too painful, B, your baby's not latching or whatever, and you haven't tried the nipple shield, I highly recommend you give it a shot. They have different size nipple shields, for whatever size nipple, whatever you have. And guys, I just truly recommend you give it a try. And it's really cheap. I think mine was like $6. And it changed everything. The best $6 I've ever spent. And is 100% the reason why I'm still breastfeeding today. I can say that with confidence because the way it was going at the beginning with her refusing me and stuff was just, we were just probably one day away from me giving up and putting her on formula, which is totally fine. I'm not saying formula fed babies is bad or whatever. It's just, I know for me, I just wanted to breastfeed my child. So seriously, guys, just try the nipple shield. It's in, like I said, I only had to do it for a couple weeks and then I was over it. So it's just a couple weeks of your time that might be a little frustrating because then you have to clean the nipple shield, after every use and, you try to line it properly and whatever. But I promise you guys, like, it truly saved my breastfeeding experience with my baby. And, I'm so thankful for that lactation consultant who told me exactly what was going on. And that's exactly what I wish I would have known while I was at the hospital. So now when I do get pregnant again and I am in labor and stuff, I'm going to have a nipple shield with me. So that way at the hospital, if I have the same issue with my, second child, I'll have the nipple shield and I won't have to have that frustrating experience or painful experience that I experienced the first time. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for watching. And, I hope your breastfeeding experience is going to go up from here. If you're watching it because you're thinking about quitting or it's hard or whatever. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear how your breastfeeding experience is going and if I've helped you out at all. But thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day. All right. Thank you. Thank you.